So, why are airports so overwhelming for neurodivergent travelers? Does anyone else feel exhausted before the vacation even starts? Not because of the flight itself, not because of the destination, but because of the airport. As someone with autism and ADHD, I realize airports may be one of the most demanding environments that many neurodivergent travelers encounter. Hi, my name is Heath, and not only have I been diagnosed with autism and ADHD, I'm also a travel agent. And we're building a community to make travel fulfilling for neurodivergent individuals like myself. Today, I want to talk about airports and why they feel so overwhelming for so many neurodivergent travelers. So, airports are constant transitions. One thing I've noticed is that airports are basically a series of nonstop transitions. Just think about it. First, you leave home, then you arrive at the airport. If you have checked bags, you have to go there. Then you have to go through security. Then you have to find your gate, and then you have to board your plane, then you land. And then if you did check a bag, you find baggage claim, you locate transportation, and it's not until all that happens that you finally arrive at your destination. And each stop requires your brain to stop processing one environment and start processing another. And if you're like me, and for many other neurodivergent people, transitions themselves require a lot of energy. And that sensory load never stops. That sensory side is so debilitating. Airports are loud, there's announcements, rolling suitcases, conversations, boarding calls, televisions, bright lights, crowds moving in every direction. And like a lot of environments, there isn't an off switch. Your nervous system's constantly being asked to filter information, even if you don't consciously notice it happening. And then, even worse, is the uncertainty, and the uncertainty creates more work. So, like I said, airports are built around uncertainty. Flights get delayed, gates can just change, security lines vary, weather affects schedules, boarding times shift, and I mean, all travelers find that frustrating. But for many neurodivergent travelers, uncertainty requires additional processing, and our brains constantly have to update expectations and adapt to new information. And this can become exhausting very quickly. Also, airports demand decisions. It's something people rarely talk about, but there are just mounds and mounds of decisions that airports require. There's multiple parking options. There's multiple lines to choose from. And that's if you have time for food, when you should charge your phone, where you should charge your phone, when do you board, where do you sit, what do you do for transportation after you land. And none of those decisions are huge on their own, but dozens of small decisions add up, especially when you're already processing sensory information and transitions at the same time. And all of this is why I research airports. So before I go, and once we decide what airport we have, I look terminal maps, I check transportation guides, I review layouts, I figure out where things are, and it feels like too much. It feels like you're doing things you don't need. But what I always thought might have been overthinking, I now realize is just preparation. And every question I answer before arriving is one less thing my brain has to solve in real time. Because here's the thing, the goal isn't control. I think people sometimes assume preparation means we need to control everything. And for me personally, I don't know about you, but that's not really it. The goal isn't predictability, it's reducing the uncertainty. Because the more familiar an environment feels, the more energy I can spend enjoying the trip instead of constantly processing the environment. So, in closing, If you've ever felt drained before the vacation even started, you might not be imagining it. Airports ask so much from your nervous system: transitions, sensory input, uncertainty, decisions, and it's a lot. So I encourage you to do everything you can to prepare in whatever way you need to make the travel more enjoyable. You're not crazy. It really takes a lot out of you, and anything you can do is one step closer to having the best trip ever. So, if you loved this and you want to experience more conversations like it, have the ability to meet more travelers like you, or just have me help you plan the vacation of your dreams, visit yourneurodivergenttravelaagent.com. There you'll find videos, articles, travel discussions, ability to plan support, and a growing community of neurodivergent travelers. I hope to see you there. Talk soon.